Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and here we go. I want to remind everybody before I get going, there's so much stuff going on. I want to remind everybody before we get going, one of the reasons I made that Masterworks is one of my sponsors is because it's a way for me personally to buy into an asset class that helps me diversify where I'm coming from as far as my investments go. This is a tweet from someone about Masterworks. Could this be the best investment of 2022? When inflation is over 3% like it is now, contemporary art prices historically appreciate by 23%. Learn more about this asset class. This is, I'll put a link to this in the top of the description of this video so you can check it out. I'm buying these artworks $500 at a time is how I've been doing it. Okay. There's so much going on, and I'm going to call out all the BS that I see here. The first thing is, it's almost as if they're blowing up the Bitcoin, Ethereum proof of work sandbox. Even the people that created this stuff, we've heard Joseph Lubin call Ethereum proof of work a toy. We've heard both of these called a prototype. They're all of those things, okay? And it's almost like they're blowing up the sandbox to bring in the real digital system, the one that works. Remember, proof of work doesn't work. That's Ryan Zagone. Now, I told you a few days ago to make sure you keep this in the front of your mind from Rahm Emanuel. You never let a serious crisis go to waste. And what I mean by that is, it's an opportunity to do things you think you could not do before. Well, the one thing he's not saying here is that I think that all these people that are in his little club, I think a lot of this stuff is initiated intentionally by them so that they then have a crisis that they don't want to let go to waste, and they can hold it up and they can say, look here, we're here to save the day. And I think Gary Gensler's a part of that crowd. I think they're all in that crowd. So I said, remember this in the coming days, the people who engineered this controlled demolition planned this long ago. And if you think I'm crazy, well, just take a look at this. Circle yield. Now remember, Gary Gensler says that yield in crypto is a security, but he doesn't go after Circle, who's backed by Goldman Sachs, by the way. I'll prove it in a second. He doesn't go back. He doesn't say anything about Circle, which I'm not saying I want him to. I think Circle is involved with Stellar, and I think that Stellar and XRP are going to be interoperable bridges to all this stuff. So Circle yield is now easier than ever for qualified businesses and financial institutions to access using the Circle account. Talk with an expert to learn more about superior returns, right? Now think about this. Think about the timing of this. So right in the middle of Celsius blowing up, and right in the middle of UST, Luna and all that blowing up. Remember when Luna blew up, first thing that you saw was Jeremy Allaire out talking up Circle and USDC. Now, right in the middle of Celsius, almost like he took it off the shelf, like, oh, maybe it's ready for this. Took it off the shelf and announced Circle yield. Right in the middle of Celsius collapsing. Now, if you think that's a coincidence, then it is time for your new home, your new igloo that I'm going to sell you in South Georgia. It's going to melt all around you in a probably less than a 24-hour period because it is hot as it can be right now in my part of the world. But it's a great igloo in the meantime, and you can buy it at a premium if you believe that this is not a coincidence. Now, here's their yield. Crypto returns without the complexity. Why is this important? Because as my father, who is the official father of the Digital Asset Investor channel, always told me, nothing happens without Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan in finance. You think it's a coincidence that Circle that Goldman Sachs was the lead investor in Circle back in this is 2015? No, sir, Bob, it is not. Do you think it's a coincidence that Larry Fink of BlackRock is saying these types of things on stage right now?
So I started with the foundation. There is a great need for digitization of currency. There is no need for hard currency anymore. And then whether that is the hegemony of the dollar or the hegemony of three different vehicles, we'll see how the market all plays out. I mean, some of the suggestions that you just brought up is more political, and I'm trying to focus on the social need of why we need digital currency. So I'm a very large believer of a stable coin type of currency, not a Bitcoin, a stable coin that is based on a currency, or each country or a country creates a digitization of that.
You could have a basket of currencies, right?
Or you could create, that would be a fantastic vehicle, a basket of a world currency. That could work out too, but
that almost sounds like what Chris Larson said about how he sees XRP as kind of like the Swiss franc, interoperable and all that. I'll show you that clip on another date.
That represents a lot of issues. What are the role of banking in that? Who plays that role? Who knows who's doing all the transactions? So you have a lot of privacy issues. So I'm not trying to suggest these are easy solutions, but I do believe the backdrop of what is going on with Ukraine and Russia, and the role of the U.S. dollar and sanctions, I think it's just going to accelerate the conversation of the utilization of some form of digitization of a currency.
Folks, Bitcoin is nowhere in what he just said. It never was Bitcoin. Watch this. Everything's happening right before your eyes if you're paying attention, folks. Watch this. This is Jerome Powell from the Fed.
Moving forward, rapid changes are taking place in the global monetary system that may affect the international role of the dollar in the future. Most major economies already have or are in the process of developing instant 24/7 payments. Our own FedNow service will be coming online in 2023. And in light of the tremendous growth in crypto assets and stablecoins, we are examining whether a U.S. central bank digital currency would improve upon what is an already safe and efficient domestic payment system. As our white paper on this topic notes, a U.S. CBDC could also potentially help maintain the dollar's international standing.
You think so?
Looking forward.
All right. Now, and then this was from James Rule. I'm not going to go into this interview. This is a guy named Anthony Welfare from Ripple, okay? Back in the .com boom was when the current winners emerged. We're at the same point in time with blockchain technology. Exciting times ahead. Where we are, folks, is you're about to watch the Ripple, the Amazon.com of the crypto era. You're about to watch Ripple do its thing. That's what's about to happen. It's not just Ripple. There's a handful of them. Now, let's get back to the distraction. This market is now at $845 billion, okay? You've got Bitcoin that has dropped below 20,000. You've got Ethereum that's dropped below 1,000, I believe. And you have all kinds of things on the distraction list here. Little reminder here, folks, because we've heard it from so many people, and it's so true. There are, right now, you can look on CoinMarketCap right now, right here, 19,920 coins. Brad Garlinghouse has said several times that 99% of these will go to zero and go away. I believe that the government is going to see to it that 99% of these go away. And I think Brad Garlinghouse said that it would be scores, which score means around 20 is my understanding. Okay, so and I know two of them, XRP and XLM. Two of them are here to stay, folks. I can't tell you too many of the others. I would say, if I was guessing, I'd say XDC, Quant, Algorand, and I could probably name a Cardano. I could probably name 3 or 4 more. Bitcoin and Ethereum are questionable at best, in my opinion. Now, let's move along. Stefan Huber's been doing some homework. Let's show you this first. And he says Jay Clayton works for Sullivan Cromwell, law firm of Joseph Lubin and Novogratz. Both were also old roommates and working friends at Goldman Sachs. And guess who was coincidentally at the same time working together with Novogratz and Goldman Sachs in Hong Kong?
What do you think of regulators? So Gary Gensler, what's your take on him and what he'll do to this market?
So I know Gary well. I worked together with him in Hong Kong.
Okay, that's the first part I wanted you to hear. Now watch his video he put together here.
A lot of commercial banks aren't terribly excited about that. Maybe you're going to have to give some ownership. Maybe you'll have to give 50% of your ownership to the 20 banks that are now, part of this. I mean, there are other ways to build incentive systems. Maybe you put a native token in there, and you give them the native token. So there may be other incentive ways to beat the current monopolist. But having been around commercial banks for a long time, they really are looking for ways to replace their aggregators in their back office, whether it's clearing, settlement, exchanges, credit agencies. But they are deeply understanding that every idea that's pitched to them is somebody who currently is small but wants to get big and gain market power. So they're also always thinking about how to ensure that there's a check to slow down your startup from gaining market power 5, 10, and 15 years from now.
And he acts like he completely endorses this. This is just the way it's done in Gary's world.
Be the next clearinghouse like the Chicago Mercantile Exchange or Intercontinental Exchange. They don't want you to be the next central node of market power. So you might share some of that with them, or you might find an incentive system.
I learned
or you might have to go through me because they put me at the SEC.
Yeah, you don't break the rules, right? So I was like, I could buy OTC. And so I end up calling Vitalik. I met once, didn't really know me. And I bought Ethereum from Vitalik.
You OTC'd ETH from Vitalik?
At 96 cents. I'm not going to tell you how much, but it's not any.
Man, this guy's ego is not good for him.
Yeah. Okay, but Ethereum they haven't ruled on yet. I bet dimes to donuts. They will say Ethereum probably was a security, but it's not anymore.
Ethereum's early advantage is apparent in so many ways. One is a regulatory advantage in that Ethereum and Bitcoin arrived on the scene before regulators were watching. And which islands were we going to buy, and what were we going to?
Okay, enough of that guy. Okay, this is what I typed after what you just get so angry after watching all this stuff. These people all get investigated if we still have a country. Not one person in Congress to this point has called for an investigation. I copied a lot of these Congress people in. Then there's this. You got to see this. John Deaton knocked it out of the park on this one. Watch this video that John Deaton put together, his firm Crypto Law put together. Let me pull up the thread here if he's got a thread. Okay, so John says, Gary, I and 667,890,000 of my friends are reaching out to you. Like you said, we are waiting for you to do your job. How can the SEC police our financial markets if it won't police itself? Watch this.
When you make a decision with other people's money, there's going to be some inherent conflicts. That's a situation as old as antiquity. Left unchecked, these conflicts might affect the quality of the advice that you receive, and in turn, the financial future you have worked so hard to build. There are built-in certain concepts embedded in our regulation to protect you. These obligations protect all of us and build trust in our financial system. If you think that investment professional might not be following these standards, reach out to us. And everything we do at the SEC is to help protect investors, and we are here to work for you.
Only Congress has oversight on the SEC. Demand your lawmakers support an investigation. Connect to Congress today.
That's right. Great, awesome job. John Deaton is an American hero. Now, check this out. This is from this guy. This is how bad. This is how. I mean, I've heard Gary say that the financial system's all about trust. Look at this. This is a literal van that someone has rented and put on the side that the SEC's complicit in market manipulation. Now, folks, I was talking to my father about this, the official father of the Digital Asset Investor channel, And I said, have you ever in your life seen an SEC chairman who is literally being hauled out in front of the American public and just taking a beating like this, deservedly so, because he's not doing the right thing? Have you ever seen this? And my dad said, nope, not in my lifetime. So, and neither have I. So then we've got all this bad news, folks. Just in, Michael Saylor's MicroStrategy Bitcoin investment is currently at a $1.6 billion unrealized loss. Then this, Coinbase has been sued for allegedly failing to conduct due diligence on UST and misrepresenting its risks. Then this, crypto broker Voyager Digital has secured a $200 million loan from Alameda to mitigate current market conditions. Now, folks, if you don't believe all the world's a stage in a lot of this stuff, these people know, they know before it happens. If I've learned anything in crypto, it's that the people that you're watching on television, all these people on CNBC, they know, they have the information before you and I have it. It's as simple as that. Watch this.
Yes, I have. I own Bitcoin and 32 other blockchain positions and projects. Here's my thinking. In the next week or two, we're going to hear a big player go to zero. We had this over the weekend with Celsius. It got basically gated. It's going to go to zero. But I'm talking somebody big. I don't know who it's going to be yet. Somebody's over-levered. When they blow up, there'll be panic in the streets. That'll be the bottom.
Now, did you hear him? Did you hear him say Celsius got gated? What he means there is, once you close your accounts or close your customers' access to your accounts, what that means is you can't hardly open them back up with there not being a run on the bank. And that is what he's talking about. They're now gated. They don't have any options. And I would go a step further and say, I won't name names, but any of these other companies that are like Celsius and their whole company is built around giving a yield on crypto, what do you think's happening to their accounts right now? What do you think their customers are doing right now? They're hitting the freaking exits, folks. That's what they're doing. That's and that's why I keep talking about the Ledger Nano. What, folks? I'll put this in the top of the description of this video. If you haven't taken your crypto off the exchanges, you better do it sooner rather than later. This will be in the top of the description. This is where I've got my crypto. And now I want you to watch. This is Peter Schiff talking to Alex Mashinsky. This is like November 2021. Watch this. Alex Mashinsky is the CEO of Celsius. Watch this.
Make your margin payment.
Bitcoin pays dividends, Peter. Bitcoin pays dividend. Price Celsius.
How does Bitcoin pay a dividend? How does Bitcoin pay a dividend?
Because we earn yield.
How do you earn yield on Bitcoin? What do you do to generate income on that Bitcoin?
I'm happy to spend an hour with you.
Yeah, you're trading it. You've got to be taking tremendous amount of risk. The Bitcoin itself doesn't generate any yield.
It does. Just like any other asset can generate yield. Gold.
No, but what earnings does the Bitcoin generate?
Gold generates 5.5% at Celsius. Yield.
No.
Tokenized
what
gold
are you doing to generate that?
5.5%.
You must be taking tremendous risk to generate those returns. Of course you are.
Okay.
You're not. Of course you must be.
Look, I'm not giving financial advice. I'm just explaining that this is
interest rates are practically zero. How can you get 5% interest on gold?
It's an amazing opportunity for people to unbank themselves, right? Take advantage of this market.
You know who also had an amazing opportunity? Madoff. Bernie Madoff had an amazing opportunity too.
Alex, we want to bring in another question for you.
Even your own son chose Bitcoin, and
he's 19. He's 19. Yes, okay.
That is pretty good. You have to admit, Peter Schiff got him on this one. Now, I've said all along. See, I think Peter Schiff made a mistake, and I think that a lot of these people that are talking. It has to be gold or crypto. I disagree. I think you should own. I mean, this is what I do. I think I own gold. I own physical gold. I own spendable gold in my Glen account, and then I also own crypto. I mean, I do a little bit of all of it, but I'm not going to sit on the sidelines when the real crypto, and I don't mean Bitcoin and Ethereum, the real crypto finally takes the world by storm. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that it's not either gold or crypto. It's both.